we don't have that issue. So, but I don't know what else to say, but.
We don't have any choice.
No, I know. My big concern, I mean, I know that it has to be done in an order, and I know we have to get funding lined up and all that. I worry that we're gonna run out of Band-Aids or something major is gonna go.
Yeah, so the worst thing would be for the state to say, you gotta vacate the building. And you got 2 months to do it, or 6 months to do it, so. We at least, we gotta get a plan in place that makes sense and do an orderly drawdown of the.
And that's obviously the best. Are we keeping in touch with the residents saying, here's where we're at, here's what we're looking
I don't know,
at?
Kayla, the rumors fly over there. Kayla's works on that.
Rumors change weekly.
Okay. Flavor this week is.
One
okay.
week we're selling the building, the next week they're moving, and
I should,
it's just.
I haven't. I'm
The
sure.
last time you were over, I think you told them we were doing the new buildings in the spring of,
Yeah,
starting
and
those
that's changed,
the
and they
spring
haven't
of this
been
year.
Updated on that.
And they still think that as far, I keep telling them, you know what, we're working on stuff. There's a plan that we're working on a plan yet. Not everything's secured and, but we'll keep you up to date as much as possible.
And it's time for me to go revisit the tenants over there. I haven't been there for several months. We've been updated.
Yeah, that way they know it's longer, because they still think they're moving. Everybody thinks they're moving into the first building in January.
Okay, I think that might be, I mean, just,
Yeah, no, it's.
because I'm sure those rumors can get creative.
I thought we were gonna have some high-rise tenants here today.
That's why I came, because there were supposed to be 3 asking about this, but they didn't show up.
Okay, well, I'll come to the next tenant meeting over there.
I invited 2 and they didn't come.
The next one, are
for
you gonna
medical
come?
reasons.
Because tomorrow's the next
Oh,
one.
well, then, no, I can't. But, I'll stay in,
Okay.
maybe next month.
I'll let you know when that one is next month.
All right.
Okay, I think that would be
Yeah.
wise, okay. Okay, anything
But
else?
we really didn't have much to tell them, and just until the past 2 or 3 weeks here, we're getting things put together.
And sometimes even to say we don't have much to tell you right now. I mean,
And that's what I have been, we're
Yeah.
working on a plan. Not everything's completely in place yet, so.
Yeah.
all right.
And we still can't give them a date. Here's the date you're gonna be able to.
Well, the
move in.
first date you tell them, everybody thinks they're gonna move that date.
Right. So, anyway, they deserve to be informed, of course, and we'll be able to.
Yeah, to keep them up to date as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on. Oh, we already talked about the program. Okay, so can I just ask real quick?
Yes.
So for women, I mean, this is all basically for the men at New Life Center. Is it all replicated at New Horizons for women? Is there not that much of a need for women? Is it for respite?
We can do respite for women.
But not to kind of take them by the hand and walk alongside and say, do you want more? Let us see what we can do to help.
The majority have been men that have needed respite. We could do it if we wanted to add in another apartment, but we were going to just start with one with 3 beds. We could officially start, our first person we did before we actually officially started was Bart with the suspender story that we sent out. As a tryout to see what might not go. We could certainly do it again, but there are less women that need respite than men. And traditionally we see more homeless men, and it's very hard on their health to be homeless than women in our community anyway.
Okay, anything else for old business? If not, let's go on to new business in the Park East property.
You know, I put something on the table, these maps.
One of these.
And just real briefly, I don't want to take up a lot of time with this, but the yellow spots there is our high rise. And the red area is the Park East property, I drew a line kind of diagonally through the property, and that's where the dike is going. So the enclosed part is gonna belong to the diversion committee. And I've sent a letter to them asking them not to rededicate the land for any purposing until we resolve what's gonna happen with high-rise.
And at the moment, there are no
No,
specific plans.
there are, well, the shopping center is after them to buy it.
The shopping center wants to buy.
The shopping center wants to buy it, the park board has expressed an interest in that as well.
The park board is very interested, they sent a representative to the meeting too, they're interested, and they wanna have that all as a green space.
Green space.
But, so what I would like to do, at the minimum, we've got, 248 units and only 62 or 60 parking spots for that group. I'd like to have that, like reserve the south half of that or something, so we got parking for all of our tenants. Even if we put a gravel parking lot there temporarily for 3 to 5 years. So anyway, I might at some point ask for some help to lean on the mayor or lean on any connections we've got on the water resource board, if any of you have any connections. I don't even know who's on that board yet, I'll find out to see if we can influence them. I think on smaller parcels, the city just gets them, they call them remnant parcels, and they turn them over to the city. If they do that, then we got a shot at it, but if they're gonna sell it, then we've got a little more problems, so I'll find out. I just wanna let you know what we're.
So they decided to just rip down that apartment complex because I thought the dike thing was going right
Well,
through
this
it.
line across the diagonally, that's where the dike is gonna be.
Okay, and that's, okay, but the apartments, it does take a few out, okay.
It takes a few out, plus it kinda isolates the parcel, there's no real
Yeah,
egress
okay.
anymore to it.
Okay,
Which has to be developed over time. We've got a way into it, and the shopping center has a way into it, but there's no, I don't think they wanna have a driveway so close to that major intersection, so it's kind of on an island.
So you'd have to go through private property in order to access it,
Yep.
which somebody can stop. In our case, we would.
Right, yeah, yeah, you have to get an easement to get into it.
okay.
So that's,
So at the moment though, it's just, we don't know anything yet on that.
no, I just wanna let you know what we're doing, and get it. At some point, we might wanna have to go to a meeting of the diversion committee and plead our case a little bit, so.
All right.
I'm curious, has Kilborn Group ever expressed interest? I know when we've talked in the past that Roars has.
Yep, Kilborn is interested in the high rise.
Does the work that they're doing, do we compete with tax credits then if they achieve getting some?
Potentially.
Because they just recently didn't they? Is it for that parking ramp that they might, or doesn't that play into it?
That's a different kind of a credit.
Okay, that's what I've learned.
Not a
So
housing
it
credit.
won't, it's not housing, so it won't affect us.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, potentially, and they're not, and I meet with them every couple of months,
Okay.
and they're not interested in, they're interested in providing affordable housing, and they would like us to do it for them
Mm.
and integrate it into some of their developments.
Okay.
And I've said all along, we'll work with you on it, if we can do it, we'll do it. So, the last meeting I had, I invited Dan and Molly from the city too, so that they're aware of what we're doing when we're talking about development over by the post office.
They're more interested in the commercial side and revitalization.
Yep, they do have a genuine interest in providing affordable housing in the downtown. They see the value of mixing income, but they just don't want to get involved
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
So, but they would provide, they are willing to provide, if they build a 100-unit building, to set aside 8 units for affordable, or 10 units for affordable, if we would manage it.
Mm.
So,
Okay.
so
Okay.
maybe, it seems like we can work something out over time. They
Yeah.
are interested enough that they keep coming back to meet on it.
Yeah. And keeping a pulse on things.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as far as this particular building, they're interested in, when it comes up for sale, they're interested in looking at it.
Okay, anything else on the Park East?
Nope.
All right, let's go on to the organizational assessment consultant. Do we have bids in yet?
Well, I got two of the, I had 3 respondents, and I didn't bring with me. Well, 3 responded, but only 2 have got their bids in, so.
Do we know when the third one will be?
This week, all of them have to, they put them in this week.
Okay.
And I've got packets from, and I don't know, we'll have to decide how you wanna make a selection, but let me hand these out. So I've got
Oh, that's
a
great.
packet from Leanne Wolf, who's,
You know her? Okay.
and then one from the village, and I got a third one coming from this firm in Grand Forks that was recommended by our attorney. All of whom provided some cost estimates and references and a description of how they would approach it and a timeline. So we can go to that later when we look at the individual proposals. So
Ideally, you have nothing.
ideally, you know what? I hadn't approached ideally.
Oh, okay.
And I will, but I will. What I did, I Googled, I did 2 things. I went to our attorney, and she had a couple of recommendations. And then Sarah and I just Googled, Sarah Googled, management consultants, and we came up with 8 local consultants. Most of whom, though, were kind of headhunters, primarily. They were interested in that.
Not as strategic.
Yeah, so we looked at somebody who can do a kind of an organizational assessment, be willing to visit with individual staff members, come up with some recommendations for us. So there's only the 3 here that met those kind of criteria that I thought we could, get from them the kinds of things we're looking for out of the 8 that are in town. But I didn't communicate with IBM, and I will. I usually meant to do that, and it's just sort of
Sure, compositive, they specialize in it,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And then you had the firm.
Well, the person I think would not be an appropriate review for this type of assessment, so I think I told him that we should try to contact one of them.
Oh, okay. So who's the firm out of Grand Forks?
I provided that to you guys in email, and I forgot.
Oh.
But I can get it for you.
That's okay, if it's in that email, I'll look.
It was, and it's the firm that was recommended by our attorney.
By Nancy?
Yeah, Nancy recommended her, said she worked for her in the past, and she had some big clients, like, the utility companies and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
And I personally, I've talked to all 3 of them, kind of about the scope of the project, and all of them seem like right in their wheelhouse to tackle it.
So then as far as deciding on one of these, are there several people who wanna, who would be willing to sit down and go through the proposals with you and make a decision? Don't all jump at once. Just can't handle it.
We'd like to keep it moving, so, and I can, and here is the, they're just like 4, 5, 6 page proposals, not too tricky. I think of the 2 we've got, one is more expensive than the other. I would first say we want to go past just the cost criteria, because there's quite different approaches from the 2 we got in here.
Yeah.
One of them is more, do a lot of it through email, survey, employee survey and whatnot. And the other one is a lot more hands-on and willing to do some group discussions and talk through some strategy and visit about goals and whatnot, which would be my preference. But but I don't wanna make, it's your decision, so if you would, you know, if one or two of you would be agreeable to,
Well, I would, yes, I would
Yeah,
be
committee,
certainly
but-
willing to do that. Is anybody else?
Try to be a part of it.
Okay,
I-
Bryce, do you have time?
Sure, I can. I'd prefer to get the other two bids in.
And do it all
I'd
at.
prefer to hear if ideally
yes,
that won't submit a proposal.
Yep.
And then the other Grand Forks firm
yeah.
before I make a decision.
Absolutely, I think
I
that's a
know,
good
I
idea,
agree.
yes.
It doesn't make sense to put the two of them in.
I wasn't aware that I made the head of anyone on the
I believe they do, they used to. They may not, I don't know. We were just gonna look into it. But I mean, it looks like you got kind of a cross of, the village is the standard and an independent contractor who has a small firm that might give you more of a hands-on. So it's be interesting to see what this other firm is in Grand Forks and if they're working with organizations like Excel
Yep.
and a big utility with lots of employees, that might be a whole different kind of scope. That might be more of what we're looking for, but it might be a lot more expensive too.
I
So,
think one another program that I've been a part of and Village did something a few years ago. And they were pretty satisfied with it.
Okay.
So we'll get all the proposals together, and then do you want to set something up between Thomas, Bryce, myself, and
Yep.
you, and we'll go over them? Tana, are you interested?
I just can't.
Okay, and that, yep, and I'm asking Michael.
We've got plenty of good people reviewing it. The more people you get involved, then it's harder to get schedules together, so
All right,
just do it.
good.
Well, then probably the approach I would do, I'll gather them all up, provide them all beforehand, prior to the meeting, and try to just do a lunch meeting or something where we've all had a chance to review them and